Okay, the last thing to talk about in our little series of naming compounds is hydrates. Hydrates are kind of a unique ionic compounds. They're unique because in addition to the cation and the anion, we also have what we call waters of hydration, and these are water molecules that are part of the crystal structure. They're actually part of the structure. There's a certain number of them, it's an integer number, that are bonded to the metal ion. So, an example, we can have copper 2 sulfate, or we can have copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate. Now, what do? We name this the same way as we normally would, just the first part of it, copper 2 sulfate. Why is there a 2 there? Copper is on our list of guys that can have more than one choice of charges, and so we have to put the Roman numeral in there to show which one we have. Is copper being a +1 ion or a +2 ion? Here it's being a +2, so we're going to show that. And now, the exciting part is that this is the exception to the rule where I said do not use prefixes with ionic compounds. Well, you don't put the prefixes inside the name of the ionic compound itself, but for the hydrate, you use the word penta to show that we have 5 waters that are part of the crystal structure. Now, this is important. These prefixes are the same as in the covalent compounds, but this isn't a covalent compound, it's an ionic compound, and we don't put the prefixes in with the ionic compounds except when we have a hydrate. In this case, copper sulfate has 2 forms. We have what we call anhydrous, which is a word that means without water. It's a white crystalline solid, and then we have the copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate that is a pretty blue color. In other words, it interacts with light differently. It's actually a different compound with different structure, different physical properties, different chemical properties, and this water is actually part of the compound.